96,000 fans at Camp Nou. Barcelona trapped in accusations of the field. Pedri and Dembele relapsed with injuries, but this El Clasico does not disappoint. Barcelona wins in dying moments with a brilliant strike from El Presidente. Shivers. Almost, I can still feel shivers while talking about it. What a game! I mean, without of Champions League in general Europe, Aniket, we have little to get happy for, and these are the games where we can become happy. What an absolute madness of a game! Wow! But just before I let
Amazing
you,
game,
just
fantastic
before I
game.
yeah, just before I let you start, welcome to the Forza Barca podcast, because today we are just off. There is nothing in with our brains. We are overwhelmed. So welcome to the Forza Barca podcast. This is your host Shubham. I'm recording from a hotel, so my camera is not the usual one. Aniket is also facing some network issues. So if there are some issues in the video, please, uh, you know, just experience the feel that Barcelona fans are feeling today. Welcome, Aniket. Wow. Then I let you speak now.
Hello, guys. Hello. So today, actually, while watching the game, when that first goal happened, I was devastated. I mean, Xavi was calm and composed. Even Araujo, he was calm and composed too. The whole team actually was calm even after that first goal. But what we saw after that first goal, it was amazing. It was incredible. So before we jump onto the lineups, Shubham, I just want one thing. Just like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll move this episode forward with the lineups. So today was an interesting game. Gavi played as the false winger role, inverted winger to be honest. He started the attacking line with Lewandowski and Raphina. In midfield, we had Frankie de Jong, Busquets, and Sergi Roberto. And in the defense line, we had B ACK again, but not the same way. We had Balde, Christensen, Kunde, and Araujo playing as our right full back. And Marc-Andre Stegen, as usual, started as our goalkeeper
Yeah.
for this game.
Of course, Araujo moving to the right back position
Yeah.
to counter Vini Jr. And we will talk about it, how it fared in the whole game. But coming back to the Pedri and Dembele missing issue, it was a big,
Yeah.
big, issue just a couple of days before the game,
Mm.
because Pedri was doing completely fine and he was training with the group. So it was such a setback when we got to know that Pedri is not, gonna be included in the squad. Because just imagine this squad with Dembele running, on the flank from the left hand side, with Balde, with Rafinha on the right hand side,
Mm.
with Pedri, trying to provide them
Mm.
balls, with Gavi uh, to his side, with Frankie de Jong, with Busquets. It's gonna be fire. So, Madrid
Yeah.
fans, next
So
time when you're gonna come to Camp Nou, we will have everyone. So just imagine what will happen to you.
yeah, and I want to add one more thing, Shubham here. Uh, so as you mentioned, the absence of Dembele and Pedri, we actually felt that in first half of the game. The absence of those two guys running down the flank by Dembele and the magical midfielder, Pedri, we actually felt that in first half. But as we progressed in the second half, things changed. But before moving on to the second half, uh, it was an unfortunate moment for Barcelona. It was, I think, if I'm not wrong, it was ninth minute of the game.
Mm.
A shot by Vinicius Jr. Probably it was going nowhere,
A
but
cross, actually.
somehow.
It was meant to be
Oh,
a
sorry. Yeah,
cross. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, then yeah. Actually, it was a cross, but yeah, as I said, it was going nowhere. There was no Real Madrid player in that box, so he just crossed the ball in hopes that some magical thing could happen, and as expected, some magic really happened there in the form of Araujo just heading that ball inside our own goal. Unfortunately, Marc-Andre Stegen saw everything, but as helpless as he could be.
Yeah.
Uh, it was all the momentum did its play, and he could not shift his momentum from the other side to other. So yeah, that was 1-0, Real Madrid leading the game. But as I said earlier, even Xavi and all his men on the pitch were calm and composed. They did not lose their temper at that particular moment. They knew that we still had 80 odd minutes to play, and they really played their game well for those
Yeah, I
rest of
mean,
minutes.
this is one of the changes that Xavi has made in this
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
Because earlier we used to talk about how we used to crumble, as soon as we had these 1-0, like first concede, like the first goals which were conceded.
Yeah.
But Xavi has sort of imbibed a feeling of trust in all
Yeah.
the players that are playing on the pitch, and not just that, it's a feeling that we can win. We can take
Mm,
this game till the
mm,
last minute of the of the clock and win this game and try to win it. So
yeah.
it's a great point that you mentioned that Xavi was composed, and Araujo, of course, he was composed, and it did show in his game that he was still playing well. But one thing which really disappointed me in the first half was there were lots and lots of crosses from
Mm,
Balde,
mm,
from the left hand side, as you
yeah.
mentioned. And I mean, unfortunately, his crosses did not have luck as Vinicius Junior's cross had, because it was absolutely shambolic first half. In terms of crossing from
Yeah.
Balde, not one
Yeah.
cross was going successfully onto
Mm,
any Barcelona player's
mm,
head. So unfortunate, unfortunate from Balde, because he could do so much more than just
true.
shabby crosses, and that changed in the second half, and we will talk about it. The game was balanced. Real Madrid was, I felt like Real Madrid was uh, playing more comfortably, like with that 1-0 lead. Real Madrid should have and must have gone for the second one, because when you press
Yep. Yep.
harder and
Yep.
you go harder, and when you get that second one, then it's a cushion, and then you can sit comfortably, because even Barcelona will get in a pressure, because 2-0, like 2-0 trailing is a big deal, so I feel that Real Madrid lost a chance, a big chance.
Mm, mm,
Also, I felt Real Madrid were much more comfortable before. They were trying to play safe before, because two changes, which at the La Real podcast, with the Real Madrid podcast that we did this preview with.
mhm.
To all the listeners, I would like to tell you, please also go and check their content. Um, I
Yeah,
discussed the same thing. Is
we would put their link in the description below, so you can just go and check their link as well.
Yeah. So the one thing that I mentioned, even with those guys, is Real Madrid with 9-0, I mean, sorry, 9 point, back from Barcelona, coming to this game with just 12 games to go after this game. I felt Real Madrid had nothing to lose, so they should have and they
Mm,
must have
mm,
gone all blazing, all guns blazing, and playing
yeah.
two things. I was really disappointed with them from Ancelotti. One, playing Valverde as a right winger. You have Asensio, who was quite good in the second half, and we will talk about it later. Who, like, they had
Yeah.
Rodrigo, also played quite well after he was being subbed on. So these two players could have entered in front of, instead of Freddy Valverde on the right wing. Second thing, I felt Nacho as a left back. It's more of a comfortable choice, because you can go for Mendy, who gives much more like full backish kind of effect. He can run down those flanks like Balde, for example, like Alfonso Davis. So if you are gonna play safe, it's never gonna end good for you, especially with
Mm,
96,000 fans booing
mm,
you, because whatever happened off the pitch, the fans were relentless and deservingly so. But 20,
yeah.
30, 40, 50, I don't even remember, because I'm just lost in the time. Seconds before the halftime, Rafinha, actually, before even going to that goal, Rafinha gets a cross from someone, I guess Balde, and he was alone. in the box.
Yep.
Perfectly,
Yep.
that with that karate kick, misses the ball. And I was going crazy in my hotel bed. I was like, jumping, like, what the hell, man? What are you doing? And then,
Shubham,
so
you are not alone in that situation there.
yeah,
You are not alone there. Like it was not just you who was jumping with anger, with
yeah,
frustration,
yeah,
like what the hell and everything. Each and
yeah,
every Barcelona fan at that particular moment had the same emotion in their hearts.
yeah, yeah. But man, after that, Araujo collects the ball, gives inside, somehow gets deflected. Raphina gets the ball once again, tries to make a shot, a good shot, gets defended by or gets blocked by Militao, reaches Roberto, who is standing in the box. Barca's third captain holds the ball calmly, and goal, 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 1-1. Just before the halftime. What a feeling. I lost half of my voice in that goal. Man, what a feeling. I'm telling you, what a feeling. I mean, two goals and twice just before the whistle. What a feeling.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
What a feeling. Twice.
The
Barcelona go to the dressing room with heads high, 1-1, 96,000 fans just cheering, singing the song aloud, drums just on the roll. Wow. I mean, I just feel envious, because I just to, let all the listeners know, I live in north of France. Today, I am in south of France, which is just few hundred kilometers or maybe few kilometers away from Barcelona, and it hurts that so close yet so far, but you know not my personal problem right now. We are just happy that Barcelona won the game. Moving on.
so as we go in the dressing room, each and every Barcelona fan was literally happy that we scored the equalizer before the halftime, and we were having the expectation that we would win the match somehow. We don't know what Xavi was going to do, what his plans were, what uh, his coaching staff was giving some information to the players. Whatever these guys did, we were just hoping that we would win the game, and exactly that happened. In the second half, Barcelona started much strongly. uh, Instead of crossing the ball altogether from that right wing position, my bad, left wing position from Balde, crossing the ball inside the box, they started giving through balls, and that changed the face of the game completely. I mean, there was some couple of chances, like the great ones I could remember. One of those, Lewandowski, who just kicked the ball, half volley type, I would say, just missed by inches, if I'm not wrong. If that would have been one of the goals, it would have been really awesome. But in that first 10 minutes in second half, Barcelona took the game, took everything in their hands, and there was no Real Madrid player to be seen on the pitch. It was just Barca, Barca, Barca. It was all Xavi ball and Xavi Neta on the pitch. But for those 10 minutes, I was pretty scared for Real Madrid. If I would have been a Real Madrid player that time, man, you got to see that particular 10 minutes. That 10 minutes, those 10 minutes were fire for sure.
So Aniket is back with a video for a change, because earlier it was a set of pictures, but yeah, the quality of camera is bad. But again, today is not about technology. Today is just about emotion. The emotion Barcelona fans don't get to feel too often. So coming back, Aniket, the point that you mentioned about couple of chances for Lewandowski and Rafinha, it was, I mean, those 10 minutes, as you said, I was amazed, and I was so surprised as how is it possible for Barcelona to
Yeah.
not take the lead? Because
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
had enough chances to just chance after chance just to get a lead, comfortable lead, and then sit back, or maybe to go even more intensely. Anyway, Xavi brings on the first substitution. Bring to make the first substitution. Xavi brings on Kessie to replace the goal scorer Roberto. at 77th minute. An interesting choice because at this point of time, I think Ancelotti had brought on like 5 players.
Yeah.
He had
Yep.
already finished his substitution, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
And I was just thinking, like, which players Xavi might take on. But the thing is, it's quite confusing because I was so confused. Like, for example, just imagine you are the coach. Do you take Gavi out because Gavi isn't having the best of his games, but he can do much more intensely for the 90 till the 90, fifth or 100th minute. His legs never stop. So do you take him out? Do you take Roberto out because he has scored a goal? He can create.
And
He has the
mind you,
confidence.
Roberto was having an incredible
Incredible
game.
game, exactly. Not
Yeah.
just about that goal, but he was having
Yeah.
an incredible game. True. Do you take Busquets out? No, because he has, okay. I think 4 5 times he misplaced the ball or got dispossessed, but apart from that, he had a fabulous game. Do you take
Yeah.
Frankie De Jong out? No, because he was also having a brilliant game. So I was thinking, like, I actually really want to make this substitution because on one hand, it's not always good because we are winning. I mean, we are drawing the game, and it could be interesting to bring on Kessie, or it could be interesting to bring on, let's say, Ferran Torres or Ansu Fati to replace someone to play on the left wing. But who gets out? And Xavi made this decision, and apparently his substitution turned out to be a good substitution. But anyway, then the second substitution made by Xavi was Raphina was substituted by Torres at 83rd minute. And the last substitution was Fati coming in for Gavi, who gave everything till 91st minute. At one point, I think close to 90th minute, he just lied on the pitch, taking some breath. And even the commentator said, "Guess Gavi needs some oxygen." And it was so funny the moment. But
Yeah.
85th minute, it was almost a disaster. Asensio, just after coming on for Madrid, like few minutes, scores the tap in, just taps the ball in to give the lead to Real Madrid temporarily as VR comes in to rescue, as they disallow the goal, rightfully, by the way, because
Yep.
I'm not in the mood because enough is enough. Enough of this referee and corruption shit. If you have evidences, and we have talked quite with humility and humbly in all the podcasts, and even in the podcast that we talked about Caso Negrera. If you don't have any evidences, go fuck yourself. I'm not gonna take any punches. It's not possible because it's hard being a Barcelona fan anyway. And then you're accusing someone of the worst thing they can do, as a club, while the motto is more than a club. So go fuck yourself. If you don't have any evidence, go fuck yourself. Because if you cannot see that offside, I'm sorry, you need more education on how the rules work. That's as simple as I can go, as humble I can go, and as, I don't know, like as civil I can be. That's
No, and that call was really good. I would really give some credits to the referee there because he was the one who referred to the VAR as opposite to what we were talking about in the podcast. Like in one of the previous podcasts, I could remember that Kessie was the one who, uh, like, Valencia was denied of that penalty, right? If I'm not wrong, Shubham,
Yeah,
just correct
Valencia.
me if I'm
Kessie,
wrong. Yeah,
Kessie, exactly. Kessie made the foul and Valencia
we
was
were
not
the
given
one
a
who
penalty.
said,
Yeah.
yeah, we were the one who said that that must have been given the penalty.
Yeah.
So if something is wrong, we say that this is wrong. But if something
Yeah.
is right, and today's decision, it was fucking right, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
nothing, no bullshit about that decision.
Yeah.
It was good enough. I would say rightfully the goal was denied. And
Yeah.
what happened in 93rd minute is it kept all of us jumping in our chairs, clapping. I mean, I was gone mad what happened in that 93rd minute. Like, the goal started from, man, I'm speechless to be honest, but I need to describe this goal. So what happened was Carvajal was on that out of the box thing on the left hand side of the pitch. Lewandowski, he dribbles that man out, and what he did was incredible. At that particular moment, I was actually angry with Lewandowski that he did not score that many goals, and he did not convert those chances into goals. But that particular moment when he gave that back heel pass to Balde, I am like, all of your whatever you did in this game has been cancelled off right now. That was an incredible back heel I have ever seen, which was given to Balde. And as calm and composed, Balde from the left wing gave it to Kessie. And man, that shot from Kessie, what that guy thought. Even Courtois, he actually guessed where Frank Kessie was going. He dived, but his shot was so perfect that he was just a mere spectator and he could not do even a thing. The former Milan man taps the ball with optimum power. Goal for Barcelona, 2-1 Barcelona leading the game in 93rd minute. Probably 95th minute if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Whatever.
something.
I'm lost of time. I
The
don't care about
podcast,
the
this
time here.
podcast has, this podcast has no connection with time and facts.
Yeah.
It's just
This
emotion,
yeah,
pure
it's
emotion as
just
of now.
emotion. I don't know what time was, but it was surely after 90 minutes. Whatever happened, happened. That goal made all of us run around the pitch, run around the. I was
The
actually watching in my
the
room and
apartment for
I
us,
was,
yeah. We
yeah, I was watching.
run around the apartment.
Exactly. I was like running, clapping. I mean, I was out of bounds, but yeah,
Yeah,
amazing goal and amazing game today.
yeah. I mean, it was brilliant. It was as you said, you
Yeah.
described the goal quite well. But just to just to mention it once again, I absolutely. I mean, there are two things I need to mention here. First thing is
Mm.
Kessie's that strike was that. I mean, it's just a tap in. To be honest, it's just a tap in. It's not like a goal from outside the box or like it was not like a beautiful goal. It's just a tap in. But the thing is, it's happening at the right time. I mean, you have to be there in the right position at right time, and keep your head calm. And the first touch, it could have easily skewed outside the box because the power that he uses, the Kessie, the power, sorry, El Presidente Kessie used was quite high. So with that power, the ball could easily skew outside the box, but it was perfectly in. And the emotion, he cried after that goal, his first goal, official goal, because even in the previous goal, it was Kessie who made that goal happen. It was eventually given as an own goal from Militao, but
Yeah.
brilliant goal and brilliant emotion. And this is how you can understand, you know, a player's passion towards a club. The way he celebrated with his family, it was beautiful. It was brilliant. It was heart wrenching stuff. And by the way, losing in 90th minute in El Clasicos and Carvajal crying and lying on the pitch is the best possible love story you can see, when it comes to Barcelona.
Yeah.
I I was so happy to see his face because the way he acted in the whole game against Gavi, trying to get a yellow card. I mean, trying to get Gavi a yellow card and trying to see, was trying to simulate, and something happened to his nose, and that was the perfect end to his story. A
But
brilliant, brilliant end to that
that's
90
what Real
minutes.
Madrid. Sorry to cut you here, but that is what their tactics are. You can see that with Vinicius Jr. what he does. You can see that with Carvajal what he does. You can see it with Militao what he does. Going back, Ramos was the one who was their crybaby, I would say. They used to do that, and this is in their nature, I would say. But today's game, man, they gave Barcelona was firing the shots in this game, I
Yeah,
would say.
yeah. By the way, I just saw this, so I want to mention is Ancelotti. Of course, I mean we all already saw this, but Ancelotti in post-match conference said that we deserve to win today. So we
Yeah,
discussed, Aniket, just before the podcast, is
yeah,
how. uh, I don't know how delusional one person can be. What game was he watching, to be honest?
Yep.
If he says that we deserve to win the game at Bernabeu in the last time, in the first leg of Copa del Rey, we can understand because the tactics that were used by Xavi, and the game in general was not formed by Barcelona to win it. But this game, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's as simple as that. And then it's fine. It's fine. It He is the coach, and probably he just wanted to give the fans and the board, the dressing room, that they hope in a hope that he has not lost the dressing room. But something which he mentioned, and which was quite stupid, to be honest. He said we still have doubts about the offside call. We are going back to Madrid with doubts. So Xavi, in his post-match conference, also questioned this comment because he was not happy, and he mentioned that the offside was quite clear, which was very clear, to be honest, to me as well, and to you as well, and to the whole world who knows what an offside call is. The problem, I'll tell, and this is I don't I'm not such kind of a person, to be honest, and to all the listeners who are watching, who are watching us repeatedly, and thanks for that, by the way. Uh, we don't accuse someone or a club of unprofessionalism or whatever, but this is too much. This is enough of what's going on off the pitch. First of all, the problem, I'll tell you, with Madrid fans in general, or in general Madrid, as a club, as a team, as a board, uh, they are mad now because their offside calls are getting caught. This is the problem. It was
Mhm.
offside before,
Mhm.
it is offside
Mhm.
now. But now there is VAR to catch those offsides, and that is the most integral problem. When Ronaldo scores goals and goals versus Bayern Munich in the final, completely offside, with Marc Clattenburg openly comes out. Okay, then he did not talk about that Bayern goal, but he talked about Atletico de Madrid goal. That he comes out and he talks that how the goal was offside. I think Ramos was offside, and
Yeah.
he asked his assistant, "Did you see that it was offside? Right? Did you see that?" And no connection. And then 2 minutes later, his assistant says, "Oh, I can hear you now." There was no connection, and after the goal was given, and Mark tells him or asks him, "Oh, you can hear me now. You did not hear me for last 2 minutes." And you are talking about an offside call, which was actually an offside call caught by VAR. This is, I mean, I'm telling you, this is the only problem. The the problem is not that if they're getting offsides or not offsides right now. They have always been getting offside goals. The
That's for
problem
sure.
is VAR is catching it now, and they're just trying to build a narrative against Barcelona,
Yeah.
that Barcelona are getting all these things. By the way,
More
just
and more offsides. Yeah.
yeah, just I have a stat actually, so I will just give me a second, and I will, because if we are here, we
Hmm.
can talk about this stat.
So till you find your stat,
Yeah,
Shubham, I would.
no,
Yeah, you
I have
found it.
found it.
Okay.
I have found
Perfect.
it.
Perfect.
So this season, Barcelona has got two penalties. Madrid has got 10. Uh, Barca has got 6 red cards. Madrid has got one. You know,
Hmm.
so this does not happen when referee is against you. So mind you, the world is not against you. The league president openly comes out as a Madridista. He is obsessed with how only Madrid can sign Mbappe, and he hopes that Mbappe signs for Madrid. And he openly comes out and changes rules so that Barcelona cannot sign a teenager who has been given the first team contract for the first time, changes the rules, appeals in the court, deregisters the player against court's judgment, and then court tells La Liga that this is wrong. Please don't talk about partiality. Focus on the game, because this is the first time we have been extensively talking about these things, because we just like to talk about football, but whatever is happening on Twitter is forcing us to do it.
Yep. Yeah, and the truth needs to be spoken, Shubham. Like we have been quite since a lot of time. Like whatever happened, whatever Javier Tebas said, we were not going to say it. But once you shove it in our face, then you will get the replies, right?
Yeah,
So this is our form of replying to them. Whatever they did, it's wrong. If you're league president and if you're coming out to be supporting one team, what would the other teams face? Like, forget about Barcelona, they are their biggest rivals, but even Atletico Madrid, they would have some concerns about the league, right? If your president is Madridista and if he's biased about that team, he would not favor any team standing in the position to his favorite team. So that being said, I hope that these things changes and we would have an unbiased uh, what do you say, we would have an unbiased view on the game.
yeah.
We can
Just
just hope that,
yeah,
it's
just
like, I don't know.
yeah, just understand the rules, get educated,
Yeah,
and the world is not against you. That's the only message that we wanna tell you. Anyway, this is the perfect time to say that Barcelona are 12 points ahead of Madrid now, with 12 games to go. So we will have to lose four matches more than Madrid to compare with them. So it's a big leap towards Xavi's first league, and I just hope that we can win the league with even more number of points, and
yeah.
Madrid drops more points.
Since you have talked about Xavi, I have one more actually stat to share with all you guys. So I'm going to read this stat. Since taking over at Barcelona, Real Madrid is the team that Xavi has beaten the most. 4-0 last season at Bernabeu, 3-1 in Super Copa, 1-0 in first leg of Copa del Rey at Bernabeu, and today 2-1 in La Liga, making his first win at Camp Nou
Yeah,
against Real Madrid. So that is an interesting fact, to be honest. Like a manager like Xavi deserves this, I would say.
yeah. It's such a surprising stat, to be honest. Like, he's in charge of Barcelona for 18 months, and this is his first El Clasico at Camp Nou.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
but but all credits to him, and let us hope that he can win his second El Clasico at Camp Nou as well, which is the second leg of Copa del Rey on 5th of
Copa del
April.
Rey.
Yeah, and what a feeling
Important match.
to complete this triangular series kind of that we have with Madrid in 1 month, and I hope that they can finish their season with more and more tears. To be honest. So, having said that, let us move to the next segment of this podcast, which is team man of the match. It was quite a difficult man of the match. Again, those match days where there are multiple players that they deserve. And today, I think Raphina was one of the candidates. Christensen, who not put a foot wrong in the whole game.
Yeah.
Brilliant play. And thank you, Chelsea, once again for giving him to us for free. Another player, who would have won the man of the match was Kessie, probably because the nerves of steel that you talk about at 90 plus minutes. You talk about I I don't know, even Balde, for example, had an absolutely wonderful game with that assistant, with constant runs. But I think Roberto deserves the game, the man of the match award today, and he was
Yeah.
also officially the La Liga's man of the match as well.
Man of the match as well. Yeah.
What a player! I mean, he's a player who we have criticized a lot in the past, and we wouldn't shy away from it. But he has shown the world how good of a squad player he is. Aniket. But
Mhm.
kudos to
Yeah.
DAB podcast too, because we have been yelling that his position is best suited in a four-player midfield. And on the right, between
Yes.
on the right hand side, where he doesn't have to go back to have defensive duties. I mean, of course, he needs to go back and defend to press, but not primarily as a defender.
Mm.
And between a winger who is a natural winger, so he doesn't have to, go in front to that crossing. He played his man of the match game in this position.
Yeah,
So we will
for
give
sure.
an award to ourselves as well. Have you seen that meme? Well, you yourself are giving a medal to yourself. So
Pat
yeah,
your back style.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, what a brilliant player and a great, squad player for sure.
Probably Xavi is watching our podcast like secretly or something like that.
Yeah, I
But
think
again,
only Xavi telling other Barcelona fans can probably help us to gain some subscribers, because right now we need them.
that's true. But incredible game by Sergi Roberto. His positioning in today's game was literally amazing. I could see him in the box, I could see him in the midfield, and I could see him in the defensive line as well. So 10 on 10 for his positioning, and a good game by him. Deserved to be man of the match for today. So Shubham, before moving on in our podcast, I have an important question to ask you. So in this game, what I saw was Vinicius Jr. was a little bit comfortable against Araujo in today's game actually. So what do you think would have affected Araujo's game? Was it the 8th or 9th minute own goal which hampered his performance, or reduced his confidence, or made some changes to his morale? What are your thoughts on this?
Hmm. Yeah, so I guess a combination, because, like, first of all, with all due respect to Vinicius Jr., he's a great player. So he is not gonna have an off game every time. So that's given.
Yeah.
So of course, on a good day, he will perform good, better than Araujo, and Araujo is not a natural right back anyway. But I feel, yeah, it might have hampered Araujo's confidence a bit, especially in the first half, because in the first half, Vinicius Jr. looked quite comfortable against Araujo. Had like couple of, I think, more than couple dribbles across him, very comfortably, with Araujo was nowhere to be found,
Yeah.
in that matchup. But I feel it could have been worse for any player if it was not Araujo. Araujo, with his, mental strength and his belief, he came back as a beast in the second half. And in the second half, I felt Araujo was much more comfortable. He was dribbling past Vinicius and, easily taking on Vinicius, and also getting like nutmegs and stuff to, I think, Ceballos. So indeed, but also a fact to mention that when that goal happened, that unfortunate own goal happened, at the time, Kunde was temporarily playing as a right back, and Araujo was temporarily taking the position of Kunde as a centre back. So technically, as a right back, he still did not lose the battle. But anyway,
One more question. One more question. What do you think about the Araujo Kunde pairing? Like them sharing the position, like when so what I saw, like as you said, and you caught that perfectly, like when that goal happened, Araujo was indeed playing as a center back and Kunde was the right back. So what do you think about their chemistry between switching on and off the positions when Vinicius Jr. took a run from that left wing? Araujo was always there to defend him. But when Vinicius Jr. was not going from that flank, it was Kunde who was at that position. So, what do you think about their switch and their chemistry in this game?
but it's brilliant, to be
Chemistry
honest.
altogether.
It's brilliant. I mean, it's not just Kunde and Araujo, because they I mean, all the center backs, they have a great chemistry amongst themselves. Like, Christians and Araujo are normal center back pairing, with Kunde normally, getting a right back position. Or sometimes with Christensen injured, we had Araujo and Kunde. So that's a great
Mm.
pair. I also saw that when Araujo was playing as a right back today, and he couple of chances he took the ball to the front, and he somehow cut in from the right back position, came in to go as a number 10, and Roberto actually came back to fill his shoes. Roberto was supposed to be there, but as soon as he saw that Araujo is coming, he went back and he sort of supported him, being a defender, and Araujo was front, and then they made a switch. So I feel these little mini matchups, it's not just between Araujo and Kunde, it's about everyone. So I think again we need to give 100% points to Xavi for making this happen.
So, well said, Shubham. I completely agree with whatever you said. And let's move to the next point, which is TFB ratings. And as you all know, as the name suggests, we would be rating all the players which played in this match against Real Madrid. So let's start with our attacking line. Lewandowski gets a score of 7. Could have scored more if he would have scored all those goals, converted those chances, would have got an improved rating. Raphina, with that incredible effort in today's game, get a score of 8.5. Sergi Roberto, with that goal and his positioning, his effort, gets a score of 8.5. Busquets had an incredible game today. He was one of our important pivotal points, gets a score of 8. I could not see any mistakes from Busquets. If I'm not wrong, there was just one mistake which got it was in our box, and the opponent took the shot. It was blocked by Stegen. That was the only mistake he made in the whole game. Frankie de Jong gets a score of 8 as well. No mistake from him as well. Gavi gets a score of 6.5. Nice effort from this youngster in today's game, but did not do what we expected from him. So a score of 6.5 for Gavi. Moving on towards our defenders, an incredible game for our defenders today. Araujo gets a score of 7. Just one mistake, which was a big one. The goal, which costed him some points, gets a score of 7. Kunde gets a score of 7 as well. For Kunde, but he really did well. I would not criticize him for his mistakes. Gets a score of 7. Christensen had an impeccable game today, gets a score of 8. No mistakes from this guy whatsoever. Saved a lots of points for us today as well. And Balde, the only thing about Balde is in today's game, what we saw was his crosses in the first half. This man, this youngster, is incredible in his position. He is seen in the attacking flank, and whenever needed, he tracks back as well. So, an incredible player for his position. Probably got his position secured, and I would hesitate to see Alba on that position over Balde anytime. So, incredible game for Balde. And Marc-Andre ter Stegen, as usual, gets a score of 8.5. Incredible game for him as well. Ample amounts of saves in today's game. Yeah, 8.5 is a good score for him, I would say.
Yeah, completely agree with those 8 ratings, and it feels good when to rate players when your team wins, especially in big games. It's nice.
For sure.
Anyway, Barcelona will come back after international break on Saturday, so 1st of April against Elche at Martinez Valero.
Yeah.
As usual, we are not very happy with international break because international breaks in the past have not been friendly to us. Two good things. I mean, not good per se, but at least Dembele and Pedri are still. I mean, we're still not 100% fit, so they were not able to go for those national camps. I don't know if it was intentional from Barcelona to keep them under the radar. Let us see. Let us hope. Many, especially for the Spanish national camp, we have Balde, Gavi going up, and major players have missed out this camp. Ansu Fati, Marcos Alonso, Jordi Alba, Eric Garcia, Ferran Torres. But hopefully Gavi and Balde can come back in a sound condition. Koundé will be going as well to the French national camp. Marc-Andre ter Stegen will be going to Germany. I have not read any reports for other players. I don't know about Lewandowski, or because Raphina was not selected as well for Brazilian camp. I'm not sure about Araujo. I'm not sure about Kessie. I'm not sure about I guess that's Frenkie de Jong as well. I'm not sure if he must go. I mean, if there is an international camp, Frenkie de Jong is an integral part of Dutch national team. Anywho, I hope that everyone comes back in a sound condition, and then an important game on 1st of April, to just regain the confidence and start at the same level as we are. And then on 5th of April, we will be having second leg of Copa del Rey against Real Madrid at Camp Nou, a reverse fixture that we won 1-0 at Bernabeu. Let us hope that we can continue with this momentum.
Yeah.
So
I hope each and every player.
Yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say each and every player who would represent their national team comes sound and fit, as opposite to whatever the injuries happened, and the injuries toll on Barcelona is heavy. So I would want each and every player to be well.
Yeah, exactly.
Post of
so so please like our videos, and share with your Real Madrid fans, and maybe you can ask them to comment on what they think on our rant or our whatever analysis that we do on Real Madrid in general. You can ask us the questions. We are available on audio mediums, audio podcast, on Spotify, Google Podcast, Ghana, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and so on. Please, follow our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our username is TFP_pod. So yeah, just like our content, and so that it gives us the motivation to do what we do.
Perfect. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Forza Barça.
Forza Barça.
Bye-bye.
Barça, Barça, Barça.